came to win, yeah, I came to win. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. Can't no one stop me, yeah, bring it in. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. Top down, faded windows tinted. Push it with it, push it to the limit.
Hey, what's going on? We're back here for another edition of the Fight Lounge with Dylon. My co-host Dabs, he couldn't be here with us this weekend. He's got some family shit going on, birthday party. So enjoy his celebrations. He's gonna enjoy the card, and I'm gonna break this thing down pretty quickly for you guys. We'll do maybe 20-30 minutes here, but if you guys have any questions, throw them in the chat. I'd be happy to answer them. I mean, last time was incredible. Let's just do a quick breakdown from last time we did a UFC 309. Incredible. John Jones did his thing. We had Marcus McGee for us. He did his thing. I mean, that card was just a thing of beauty, and we're going to look to attack it the exact same way this time, ladies and gentlemen. Just nice, keyed in, few spots, couple long shots we're going to put less money on, but, the spots that we're comfortable with, and we're going to go ahead and smack them. We're going to smack the fuck out of them for the end of the year. We're going to get that money, that paper. We're going to do all that. Let's just jump right into this thing. First fight of the night. They're going to offer us a heavyweight matchup for the first fight of the night. And this is the last UFC pay-per-view of the year. So it's kind of like a Christmas present to all the fans. I believe they're offering us violence for a Christmas present. And that's, I think, what's happening here. Kennedy's coming off a round one knockout over Chris Barnett. I mean, he did injure his ankle jumping at the beginning of the match, I believe. And Kennedy was a little bit slow and sloppy in that fight. It wasn't an impressive round one victory, in my opinion. On the other side, you have a guy not very impressive in himself. So I think this is the real test for Kennedy going up to heavyweight. We're going to see. I'm taking a small shot at this plus 400. I took it early in the week, and it's dropping, but it's just that this is really a shot. I think the number's too wide. We'll see how Kennedy does. He's going to have the striking advantage and the reach advantage, but this is heavyweight. Anything can happen, so we're going to shoot for that plus 400. I don't trust Kennedy at all at this fucking price tag. There's a lot of heavy favorites on this card that we'll talk about, but Kennedy's not one I'm going to get behind at minus 600, largely unproven at heavyweight. We're going to take a small shot at Lucas Bresky. We're going to do $10 to win 40, and that's good enough for me. Small play, take shots on these, and then move that money forward onto a better spot. And like I said, we'll move on pretty quickly here. Chase Hooper, another big favorite on the card, minus 1,000, going up against Clay Guida. I get that. He's 43 years old at lightweight, which is not an old man's division. It's not. And Clay Guida is just a dog. He's that guy. He's been that guy. He's only on a 2-fight losing streak right now, even though he's 38-24. Having over 60 UFC matchups is crazy to me. But he did fight Chase Hooper before. They had a grappling match, and Chase Hooper did submit him with a calf slicer. So it's very high-level grappling from Chase Hooper. And if this thing gets into a striking match, I'm not sure how much more Clay Guida can take. Granted, he's only been knocked out, I think only a couple times, honestly. 2 KO losses, and that's in the third round. So this guy doesn't get finished early. 9% of his losses over his entire career, which is still pretty crazy to me. This man is a specimen. He's incredible. He deserves all the flowers Clay Guida does. But at what point do you continue to bet on your favorites? Are we really going to bet a 43-year-old? Is that going to be profitable going forward? I don't believe so. The trends and the stats say otherwise. At his age, every single lot is stacked against him in this fight. And I don't mind Chase Hooper to get this one done. I think the KO is a little bit high on this one, to be honest. Plus 600 for a Chase Hooper KO. And I don't think it's going to be on the feet striking, head kick or a hook or something like that. But I could see him getting him down. Elbows, ground and pound, TKO victory, absolutely. And that falls right into the plus 600 category also. So I'm going to find myself taking a shot on that at Chase Hooper. I think it's the only way to get around the big price tag. That being said, like I said, Clay Guida has never been finished in round one, so you probably could take the round two, round three there if you wanted to get, you know, a little bit tighter with it. That does put you in the submission too, which Chase Hooper could submit him, could happen, but I think I'd lean towards the KO plus 600, and then the round two for Chase Hooper. I'll bring this up here for you guys. Round two for Chase Hooper is plus 300, and round three is plus 500. So you actually get more money just betting the KO, leaving the sub aside. Granted that Clay Guida is a really good grappler himself, he could defend. So I don't think the submission really is what it says it is in this fight. I mean, the submission line is minus 200, and that's a little bit too high for me. I think the KO is on the table, and I'll be taking a shot at that. And I think Chase Hooper's violent too, so I think he can finally get it done. I don't think Clay Guida is going to retire, though. I don't think this is that spot. I think he's got probably one more fight left in him. Two, at least he thinks he does. And I don't think he's doing that bad where he should be forcing retirement. Because, like I said, he hasn't been knocked out that much. But we'll see how this fight goes. But that's where I stand on it as of right now. Next one is very similar. It's a prelim matchup at 170. We have Michael Chiesa, the Maverick, going up against Max Payne Griffin. This is another matchup of two old guys, 37 and 39 is Max Griffin. 20 and 10, also Max Griffin. 17 and 7 for Chiesa. And Chiesa, I just can't trust at all right now. I don't like guys that are focusing on other things in their career. He's not focused on fighting anymore. And I don't believe in anybody that's on the UFC panel for ESPN. I just don't. I think it's a spot where you just go against them. Kamaru Usman's been losing. He joined the panel. Anthony Smith, who's on this card, he's on the UFC panel now. And I just don't like what any of them do because they're trying to find another career, which is great. It's a smart decision. But if they're not 100% focused on fighting, I'm not sure what the fuck they're even doing here. So I'm going to side with Max Griffin here. I'm not sure if I'm going to bet it. I think I'm going to try to get a live spot and see how Michael Chiesa does because he is very good in the first round. I think if he finishes, he does do it in the first round. But then Max Griffin's cardio kind of falls off a cliff in round 2 or 3. So at a pick'em price with not much of an advantage, I'll lean towards Max Griffin, but I'm not sure I'm going to put a bunch of money on it as a single. And then the next fight we have in the flyweight division is Cody Durden versus Josh Van. And this one is, again, this is set up for violence. These are two scrappy fighters. I think this one's Cody Durden early or Josh Van late. I really think that's the way this one goes. That's Josh Van style. That's Cody Durden style. I've seen them both very recently. They're active fighters. Josh, a lot more so, very active. Maybe a little bit too active, I'll be honest with you guys. And that's not good for him. It's good at a young age, but long term, not sure how that's going to work out for him. But Cody Durden, he's a good wrestler. He's going to push the pace in round 1. So, again, I don't know that I would take Durden as a dog because I don't know if he's going to be able to do it late for me, where I know Josh Van will stick around. So I think the way I'm going to play this one, I'm going to go Josh Van round 2 and 3 is what I'm leaning towards. And those numbers were pretty high. I think 600 and 1,000. Let's see, Josh for round 3 is 1,000. And where's the other? Round 2 is plus 600, yeah. But I do think there's some potential for Cody Durden, but I don't know if it's going to be finishing potential. So I would lean maybe towards a decision if you like the Cody Durden side. But for me, I think I'm going to go with Durden gases. And Josh Van does come on late. I've seen it in all of his fights. He's a slow starter, kind of like Peter Yan. Well, it'll take a little bit of time in the first round. And that could lead to a bad path to victory for him. And then Cody Durden, like you said, he does his best work in the first round. So if this guy doesn't pick up the pace in the first round, maybe it's Cody Durden. But this guy's young and tough. Is he going to get choked in the first round? Probably not. He's good at scrambling. So I'm going to go Josh 2, round 3, and round 2 for my money, plus 600, plus 1,000. Hey, we got Nicholas Handy in the chat. What's up, Nick? Happy to have you here with us. Ixnizzle, what's up, ya fucker? What's going on? I was waiting for somebody to pop up in the chat. Cheers to you. Almost like he took the words right out of my fucking mouth. You know what, Sniz? I'll do you one better. We're going to do a shot. This card starts in about 30 minutes, so we got to break it down real quick. But this one's for y'all, the real ones. Redbeard, cheers to you too. I see you. But we are going to keep the train rolling right along. Shout out to Gravy Bets, GB9 on the grind with us. Yeah, some makers. It's on sale. It's good shit. Shout out to all y'all again. Nicholas Handy, Ix, Redbeard, Gravy Bets. Let's go. Last bet we talked about, if you guys missed it, Josh Van round 2, round 3. We're going to move on to the next fight now. Next fight we have up on the card. We have Chris Weidman versus Eric Anders. This is a very interesting matchup. Somebody needs to get a hold of Chris Weidman and tell him, stop fighting. Stop it. You're delusional. Last week I was fading him. They were supposed to fight. This is a rescheduled fight. Now, Eric Anders pulled out with a medical issue last time. I was on the Eric Anders side, but Eric Anders pulling out with a medical issue and now rebooked. The bookies already got all the information. Everybody bet Chris Weidman as a dog, and Eric Anders was minus 175. I waited for that to settle out, got my money anyways. But now they have all the information. They know what people want to do. And I'm not getting anything on Eric Anders now. They're minus 110 pick 'em. They're leaving it locked in right there because even the bookies probably don't even know what the fuck's going to happen. It's a confusing fight now. Weidman's old. Eric Anders. I don't like rebooked matches, and I'm not going to play nothing at minus 110 when they're both fucking suspect. I would expect violence in this spot. If you wanted to take no side, which is what I want to do, violence is definitely on the table here. Chris Weidman could finish him with his grappling, submission, and Eric Anders, I mean, he could very well knock him out. Chris Weidman's not susceptible to being knocked out, though, and Eric Anders does gas. I mean, I think I'm leaning towards the Weidman side, to be honest with you guys, after what happened. But the under, I guess, if you like violence, under plus 150. I don't like those numbers. It's not enough on the bone to really give out a confident bet there. This one doesn't give me any good feelings of confidence. It'll just be a shot in the dark, and I think we have better spots. Maybe bet something live, but I can't trust either side to do anything for me. It's a greasy, shitty fucking fight, so I'm going to pass all around on this one. Next one, though, we have Brian Battle versus Randy Brown. This one should be an absolute fucking banger. Randy Brown likes to throw volume strikes. Or Brian Battle is also aggressive in himself. He likes to go forward, push the presser. He's aggressive. And Randy Brown likes to dance away and, maybe tune him up with the volume. And if Randy Brown gets his rhythm going, he will absolutely box the shit out of him. But Brian Battle, he'll make this a bit of a dirty one. And, make it tight. Get it, because he's going to have to get around the reach advantage of Randy Brown also. You know what I mean? And he's a guy who likes to get into the pocket, and he'll give one, and he'll take one. But Randy Brown is going to have a little bit of an advantage here with the reach. But I'm still going with Brian Battle to get it done. I mean, he's the younger fighter by 4 years, 34. I'm not saying that he's old, but he's just on the peak of getting there. You know what I mean? So for my money, I think I'm going with Brian Battle, round 2, round 3. That's where I'm at. Randy Brown, he's susceptible to getting knocked out. Maybe it doesn't look like that on paper with his last 3 wins. But before that, he did have a round 1 submission. Jack Della Maddalena choked him. His neck is very big. He could get in there. Vicente Luque finished him in round 2. So, I mean, he did fight some guys that weren't of the best quality. And then Brian Battle on the other side, he's 6-1 in the UFC, 3-1 in his last, 4-1 in his last 5. One of them turned into a no contest, but he finished that guy in round 2, finished the other guy in round 2, Kevin Doucette. AJ Fletcher finished him in round 2. Gabe Green finished him in round 1. That's his last 4 fights. So, I mean, it says round 1 or round 2 all over the place on this guy's fucking record. You look at his fights after that, there's a round 1, a decision, and then we have round 2, decision, round 2, round 1, round 2. I mean, there's a lot of round 2s in there, is my point. So I'm going Brian Battle round 2. And then just in case that one loses, you always have to back yourself up with the round 3. Nasty Nate in the house. What up? I guess my fucking image is frozen. This is bullshit. Well, I'm here alone, so I can't back out. It'll fuck up the entire stream. Nate always likes the round 2 for either fighter. I don't mind that at all. Ooh, are the Jets down? I actually am on the Jets today. Let's go. I like that bet. I like that bet a lot. Let's see. G in the house with us. G's always here with us. Reyes Landwehr versus Choi under 2.5. That one I do like a lot of violence in. And Shavkat round 3 or 4 plus 500 right in the pocket there with a 0.2 unit sprinkle. Fuck yeah. I'm going to see if I can sort this out. I will be right back. Boom. There we go. Nasty Nate likes Nate the Train. Holy shit, ladies and gentlemen. We have a special guest showing up on the show. It's Snizzle!
What up, hillbilly?
What up? You call me Dillbilly?
What
No, I was kidding. Yeah, no, I like we're getting far ahead of ourselves here in the chat, but I like everything that the chat is saying. We have a very sharp chat in the game, as everybody knows.
Yeah.
Snizz's eyes are looking fucking crazy right now.
Just fuck you up with good vibes.
We got Jimmy Gomez in the house. What up, Jimmy? Thanks for stopping in here. Appreciate you. But yeah, let's continue. Brian Battle round 2.
No, hold on. Oh, okay.
You're all loaded.
I just want to say hi real quick.
Well, go ahead.
You said you needed to back out, so just jumped in on the phone real quick. But
yeah, I appreciate you to help me out with that real quick. Cheers, buddy.
I'm gonna hop out. I'll be back when I get home, and we'll live sweat some fights, and there'll be some basketball going on and whatnot too. So, Dylan, if you just pull me out so I don't end the stream on accident.
Yeah, absolutely. I got you.
Love you guys. We'll see you soon. Thanks for tuning in.
Hell yeah, guys. Sniz stopping by on the Fight Lounge real quick. I believe he was drinking what you like, Nasty Nate. I think it's the let's see, what is it? What is it, Sniz? You still there? What are you drinking on?
Oh yeah, I am still here. It's a high noon.
High noon. I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Well, this one's the vodka one. Uncle Nate likes the tequila one.
Tequila one, yeah.
So,
the margarita.
Either way, cheers. Helping my cousin move, and we're all done now, and now we're just drinking, having some family time. But, cheers to y'all. I got a new haircut, and I'm ready.
Let's see it. Let's see the new fucking haircut. Let's see the new fucking haircut. Boom.
No, I'm a goofball. Fuck off. I'm out of here, Dylan.
All right. Love you. Peace.
Love you too.
So my guy, it's always a good time when he stops by. But yeah, where were we? We were at Brian Battle, round 2, round 3. Gerardo threw some action out there. Reyes Landwehr versus Choi under 2.5 plus 103. And then the main event, co-main event, round 3, round 4 for Shavkat plus 500. But let's just keep on rolling right along here. Next fight up, I'm going to talk about, bring it up on the list here. Movsar Evloev and Aljamain Sterling. I'm going to keep this one short. I think there's recency bias. I think there's a hatred on the Aljamain Sterling side. And I don't see how Movsar Evloev is so much better than him. I don't fucking get it. Maybe he had an abysmal performance his last time against Calvin Kattar. He did what he had to do to win. He said that for himself. It was boring. People hated him for that. The Sean O'Malley fight, he arguably won that first round and then shot in on some 10 feet, takedown, got knocked out. I didn't hate him for that. I kind of figured he would do that. It was game planned by Sean O'Malley and his coach. They've seen him fucking do that. So, anyways, people are hating on him. This line's too wide, plus 210 on Aljamain Sterling. I had to take a shot at that. Just a regular unit, 25 to win 50. That was good enough for me. Keep it right there in the pocket. And then we're rolling right on to the next fight. Because these pop off in 20 minutes and we got some more to get through. Vicente Luque versus Themba Gorimbo. I don't know how much Vicente Luque has left in the tank. I can't trust him either. He's had a lot of fights, very tough fights, brain injuries he's talking about, and he said this himself. This is not speculation. He doesn't like getting punched in the head anymore because there's a risk he could die. His brain is bleeding. It's bad, all that. So Vicente Luque maybe doesn't want to do it anymore, and he probably shouldn't either. He's been around forever. He's got 33 fights, so it's about the time when he is done. On the other side, Themba Gorimbo, I think he could catch him with the power. Vicente Luque doesn't want to get hit, but this guy's fast. He could find it, and if he does, he probably will go to sleep. So the way I see this one, maybe Vicente snatches up a sub, and you see all that, or Themba knocks him out, but G is always on the right track. I think Vicente Luque protects his chin, his brain, plays it smart, and that's not going to be enough to win the fight. So I agree with that. I think it's going to be a KO from Gorimbo or the decision. That's where I'm going, but I can't choose between them, and I think we're getting a good price on the money line, so I'm just going Themba money line straight up. I think a lot of people are trying to fade him. This is his first test, but I don't know if this is much of a test anymore. And another thing, you just can't be backing these fucking guys. These old legends that I've been watching personally for over 10 years, they're not doing so hot. I mean, Jim Miller is a legend. Let's give him a shout out. Robbie Lawler got it done. Nobody else is doing that. It's fucking rare as shit. And we're not in this business trying to bet on our favorites or legends just because we love them. They are on their way out the fucking door, and this is the time in the UFC where newcomers are coming up. They're making names for themselves, and that's exactly it. So we're going Themba, we're going money line, and that leads us a good segue right into the next fight. Old fighters who are fighting each other. Anthony Smith versus Dominic Reyes. Again, I'm not going to spend a bunch of time here. I don't like Anthony Smith or what he's been doing. If you look at their records purely, 37-20 for Anthony Smith, 13-4 for Dominic Reyes. This has to be a Dominic Reyes spot, in my opinion. If Anthony Smith gets it done, he gets it done early. It's his only path to victory. After that, he falls off a fucking cliff. Anthony Smith falls off a goddamn cliff. I've never liked this guy recently. I liked his old fights, but he's never been himself lately. I can't trust him anymore. Dominic Reyes, yeah, you can make that same exact case, but there's a lot of people that are just saying, oh, that John Jones fight, though. That was, long time ago. Anthony Smith also fought John Jones, so they're both in the same boat there. Let's cancel that because they cancel each other. Dominic Reyes got clipped, and then he looks bad, but then he came back in his last fight, looked a lot better, a lot smarter. Anthony Smith has looked fucking terrible again in his last fights, unless he's fighting low-level competition. He finishes them in round 1. Other than that, I don't think he's got that lion heart anymore. He just doesn't have that dog in him. He's also, like I said earlier, another guy that's on the UFC ESPN panel, and he's looking to do other things. And I've said this before. I used to listen to the Bizbing podcast when Smith was on it. Ever since somebody broke into his house, he's been nervous. He's got like mental issues and he's scared. You can see it. Like he gets nervous when like things shake up around him. He's like scared about it. You saw it in the Johnny Walker fight. He tried to use it as ammo. He's like, you break it into my house, try to hurt my family, huh? And he's like, what? Like it was just crazy. He's broken mentally. He's broken physically. We're not betting on Anthony Smith in 2024. Dominic Reyes is minus 350. That's crazy. But as always, G very sharp in the chat. That's what I'm going with too. Anthony Smith is the better grappler. Probably could defend it. Dominic Reyes, we've never seen him sub anybody. That's not his game. So it should lean towards the KO. Absolutely. And I'm going Dominic Reyes round 2, round 3. I'm going to do a lot of that on this card because, like I said, I think they're offering us violence. And I'm going to bet on fucking violence. Speaking of violence, second segue into the next fight. We have Nate the Train Landwehr. Shout out to Nasty Nate. He gave out Nate the Train by KO on this fight. And I'm going to keep this one short too. Do Hoi Choi. Korean Superboy. I mean, he was, supposed to come up and be this thing, great striker, blah, 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 coming out of Korea. Looked great. But he hasn't been that in the UFC. We haven't seen it. We don't know it. I don't like it. I'm going Nate Landwehr all day. I took him on the money line at minus 135. And I'm going to tail Nasty Nate's bet here, too. I'm taking Nate the Train by KO. And I'll probably do a KO parlay with that, honestly, because I like that one the most. But I'm also going to do Nate Landwehr round 2 or 3, because that's where he does his best work. He's a fucking brawler. He likes to do that. And Do Ho Choi is a technical, smart striker. So when Nate Landwehr starts taking him into deep waters like that with his striking style, I think it's the same thing as I said the last fight. Do Hoi Choi's got to win in round 1, and Nate Landwehr is very hard to finish in round 1. So I think it's going to be Nate round 2, round 3 after Do Hoi Choi runs out of a little bit of gas, striking power, all that. And it turns into a nasty, brawling, an actual fight instead of a striking match or a boxing match, so to say. So yeah, I'm on Nate round 2, round 3. And that's it. There's only 4 fights left. We're into the main card here. Another big favorite on the card. We have Bryce Mitchell versus Kron Gracie. This one's very simple too, guys, for me. It's Bryce Mitchell shouldn't be a minus 1,000. He's coming off a bad knockout. We all know that. But that's not enough for me to take the other side. Kron Gracie hasn't fought in 5 years. Bryce Mitchell hasn't fought in 1 year, which he should have. Bryce Mitchell doesn't train with nobody. He's an independent fighter. Those guys don't go far. What else is there to say? I think Kron Gracie will fight a little bit of a better fight. I think this will be a grappling matchup. If it's on the feet, probably pretty even too. Maybe Bryce Mitchell by decision, which is what the bookies are telling you, but that's also fucking juiced. I'm staying off this one. I got nothing here. I don't like it. Unless I see something live. That's the only thing that's going to make me go with something. And that's it. That's a simple breakdown for that one. And then third from the top, Cyril Gane versus Alexander Volkov, number 2. Rematch. And you guys all know out here my rematch theory. I usually say 2 fights never go the same way. I think this one goes the same fucking way. The last one was when they were in a main event. Cyril Gane was coming up to the top, and they had a 5-round main event. This one's only 3 rounds, so I think that kind of reverses my rematch theory. They fought at the top before, and now they're fighting at a lower level. And I don't know what Alexander Volkov is going to do to change his fucking game. Yeah, we've seen Cyril Gane fail miserably in the grappling and the wrestling department, but he's been off for a while, and I know he was a little bit better than what people are saying. John Jones should have choked him out in a minute. He's levels above him. Cyril Gane will never get close to that. And then the Francis Ngannou fight, he was just starting to explore that shit. And I think he has good skills, but what he didn't have is good IQ to use those skills. So he dropped for a heel hook versus Francis Ngannou, which is what you have to talk about when you talk about Cyril Gane's ground game. So he drops for a heel hook, and then I heard an interview with his coach. He said this before and after the fight. He's been working on his submissions, but we don't want to use submissions against this guy because we're a faster striker. Point is, his coach, Fernando, told him, don't go for that submission right there. Because Cyril Gane said, I think I could catch him with a leg lock. Francis Ngannou comes in with his little knee pads on. And Cyril Gane says, oh, his knees are already damaged? I could get him with a leg lock. So he got greedy, dropped down for it on a fight he was winning, lost that fight. whatever. Volkov maybe is not that guy to also change his game and just become a wrestler and a grappler in the next, few matchups. You know what I mean? So to that point, I did take Cyril Gahn a lot earlier, back when that John Jones fight was on against Stipe. I have parlayed him all the way through the roof with Jake Paul, John Jones, but now he's up to minus 350. And I don't really see what else to do with Cyril Gahn in this fight except for Cyril Gahn by decision. But it's not a bet that I want to give out on the show. It's not my most confident piece because he very well could knock him out. So, yeah, and on points is minus 150. We don't give out minus props on this show. So I'm going to have to call this one a pass, even though I do have Cyril Gahn in the parlay. Let's see. We got some advice from G. Volkov is in better shape. He's athletic. I think this is a close fight. Split decision. Yeah, I think it goes to decision now. Let me ask you this, G, though. How do you know that Volkov is in better shape? And how do you know that Cyril Gahn's, out of shape? Is he not better shape than Volkov even still? I feel like he's the younger guy, even more physical of a body. And Volkov, he's just like tall and skinny. Maybe he's not like the most athletic guy just because of that. But he's doing well. He's on a 4-fight win streak. Volkov is absolutely on a resurgence right now in his career. But is that resurgence going to send him for a fucking title shot? I don't know. See, that's what I hear you, Mr. Toad. I see people saying that you would call it close. I would call it a super advantage when you talk about speed. Maybe it was close when you look at it, but like the speed wasn't close at all. But yeah, he's doing better. And I mean, I don't hate taking a shot at Volkov. Honestly, that's really the way I would lean now. Like I said, I took him earlier in a parlay at minus 225. I don't like the minus 350 now. I do think that's too wide now. And yeah, you're right too, G. He has filled out his frame. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say Cyril Gahn's the side and don't bet against me. Probably it's worth taking a shot at plus 260 if you manage your bankroll accordingly. But for me, I've already got my money in on Cyril Gahn, and I'm not going to try to hedge. So I'm going to have to pass. But like I said, the rematch theory that I have says 2 fights never go the same way. And I don't like that it's everyone's saying it's Cyril again. And it's going to be a decision again because I actually don't agree with that either. That's why I just took Cyril on the money line. But is he going to get knocked out? Probably not. Is he going to get submitted by Volkov? Maybe. Maybe. That's the one where you have a maybe on. And I've heard a lot of people during the week give out this bet, and it looks juicy. It makes sense when you talk about numbers. Volkov by submission. I mean, I've heard people getting 2,200, 2,000, and I'm seeing plus 1,600 since the fights are supposed to start in about 10 minutes. So I know a lot of people are on it. That's a reason for the movement, and the fight's about to start in just 10 minutes. But I do like Volkov by submission, just for a little sprinkle at plus 1,600. I mean, that represents a 5% chance or so, and I think it's higher than that. So Mr. Toad says Gahn's inside boxing is sloppy. Yeah, he's a range fighter for sure. Yeah, I could see it. You guys both made very good points. And I'll be honest, I am nervous because, like I said, I've had this parlay waiting forever. It's to return a big amount. And it makes me nervous. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. I'm not full of confidence like I'm about to win. And you never should be because this is fighting and anything can happen. But we got 2 more fights to talk about, and the fight start in 8 minutes. Co-main event, Shavkat Rakhmonov, Ian Gary stepping up on short notice for this one. All the respect to Ian Gary for doing that. And I think this one's a little bit wide too. I really do. I'm really considering Ian Gary as this goes on and on. The line just keeps moving up for Shavkat, but they're not really moving it up on the Ian Gary side. So that doesn't make sense to me. And I think, at this point with the numbers, I think I got to go with I was leaning towards Ian, but I fucking hate him and I don't trust him. Like, honestly, my gut's just telling me no. When the numbers say yes, I think no even still. He's going to be the faster fighter, though. I think his speed and striking overcomes Shavkat. Hold on, I'm gonna answer a phone call here really quick. Dabs, we're live on the Fight Lounge right now. You want to join us for the last 2 fights? Hold on, guys. What's up? We got 5 minutes left. We're talking co-main event and main event. You want to get in on this quick?
Oh my gosh! I literally just got back to my uncle's house. I can get in pretty quick, I think.
I'll send you a link right now. We're doing this live. Sorry, everyone's watching live, and I'm on the phone. I'll send you a link, and our guy co-host, he'll be joining us to talk about the last 2 fights. What do you guys think about that? Bang.
What's the last 2 fights?
The co-main event, Ian Gary and Shavkat, and then Pantoja and Kai Asakura.
Hey, I got a lot of stuff to say.
All right, well, I'm going to send him a link. We're just talking about the co-main event now. I'm going to send this guy a link. We'll go through some YouTube comments, and the co-host will be here in just a minute, ladies and gentlemen, live. Let's go. Sending you a link now, Dabs, and I'll see you soon, buddy.
Let's go.
Hell yeah. Sent.
I'm joining now.
All right. He's going to be here with us any minute. So we'll go back to Mr. Toad. It says Gon's inside box. I'm sorry, the next comment. First fight is a lock to go to decision because Nzechukwu and his opponent have no power, so at plus 180 to go the distance. It's not a bad bet at heavyweight. I mean, how many times do we see these? Like I said, I don't like Kennedy at minus 550. How many times do we see this? Oh, we should knock him out. This is heavyweight. How many times do we see these sloppy heavyweight fights go all the fucking way to the... So you know what, Mr. Toad? I'm going to throw in some money on that with you. I'm going to take that bet, and I'm going to tell you. I'm going to ride with you. But ladies and gentlemen, the man we were just spoken of, the man of the hour, the Dab Father.
That motherfucker scared me. Yeah, can y'all hear me?
What up, what up, what up?
Nah, shit. What's up? Am I sounding loud and clear or nah?
You're loud and clear. The
Loud and clear. All right, cool.
The timing is off, but we can work with that.
Okay, because I'm outside. Just got back from Denverville, but let's talk these fights. I had to run back because I'm like 5 o'clock start time. I got time to be with the family and time to watch some violence.
All right,
Now
so why
it's
don't
time
you
to
take it
watch
away here? Because I've been talking for the fights for about 40 minutes here. We're talking co-main event, Shavkat and Ian Gary. What are your thoughts?
Hey, Ian Gary, man, plus 310. Ian Gary plus 310, man. Shavkat's I don't want to say Shavkat's a fraud.
I was just saying this before too. Ian Gary was high, and then I was plus 260, but Shavkat has moved up, so I don't like that line movement. I don't.
It's very weird, and honestly, I don't know why I think Ian Gary can come out here and get this motherfucker out of here in 2 rounds. That's kind of how I'm feeling. I don't want to be.
2 rounds is a ballsy bet.
That
I'm thinking round 3, 4.
I could see 3, 4 later, but man, I feel like Ian Gary comes out hot, and Shavkat. I mean, agree to disagree. Starter. He's a little, he's a little slow starter. I don't think he has is as crisp on the feet as Ian Gary, and I think Gary's going to come in here
Ian Gary's the faster striker for sure.
Yeah, and we've seen Gary be able to scramble, bro. It's not like you're going to be able to take him down and hold him down there. You know, he's going to make this fight very interesting. And if you don't want to get to a money line side, if you can get on those point spreads, bro, take that point spread. I don't see. I don't know. Maybe it's just me hating on Shavkat, but I don't see Shavkat getting a finish here. I don't know. And maybe that's just me being a hater.
I'm on the opposite side of you where I think Ian Gary, and I agree with you, but I'm also thinking I might just be fucking a hater on Ian Gary.
Yeah.
I am.
That's kind of where I'm feeling. I think I'm a hater on Shavkat. I don't really like the guy. I don't know.
He's like about the Aljo fight too. There's people out there saying that, and that's why I'm betting Aljo.
I'm on Aljo.
Ian Gary is not a likable guy, but he's doing what Aljo did. He's making a fucking character. I believe he's just doing this for the fucking media, trying to get you for money to get you to hate him. But I'm not gonna buy into that. He's not that guy. I'm not gonna hate him. I'm not gonna bet against him just because I hate him. But I think I'm just gonna go with this fight to end late. I don't know if this gets into the championship rounds.
Yeah, this is one of the I'm gonna be honest, this is one of the fights, I don't want to say fights, but kind of a bigger fight the entire year where it's kind of been, I don't want to say hard for me to see how the fight's gonna go, but for some reason it's kind of tricky for me to predict how this fight's gonna go. I don't know, man. And exactly how these motherfuckers said, "Hey, I've seen you in the training room. We sparred. I tapped you out, and you have that rematch theory in a sense."
Yep. I don't actually
Hey,
touching on
I
that. I
agree
don't
with
like
it,
that at all
though.
because when they went to the fucking the UFC videos, I knew exactly that. Oh, look at this video where I was faster than him. That was a fucking 3-second clip. Show us the whole video instead of the one part where you were doing good. Because maybe Shavkat was holding mitts for you. Maybe he was just helping you. We don't know the context in that video. And he's like, "Oh, look, I was fucking him up." You guys weren't in the cage sparring. You're just
Yeah,
practicing on the mats with everybody else surrounding you. You saw guys wrestling, getting taken down. Maybe they're working on their takedown defense. Maybe they're
yeah,
not that good there. Maybe
yeah.
he's not that good there and he's helping him, blah, blah, blah. But Shavkat did come out and say, put out the rest of that video because I submitted you at the end of that sparring match.
And he said he did, but at the end of the day, sparring
It's,
is
it's,
not a life or death situation. When I'm in there in the cage, I
but
want to kill you,
I
you
don't
know?
take
So
any fighter at their word. Any fighter
yeah,
is going to be cocky and say, I won in that match. And they're both saying
yeah.
that. So I ain't taking
I mean, he
nothing away
said it.
from that.
He said we both had moments, but at the end of the day, he did tap me out. He did get the best of me, but um,
And then the other thing I didn't like is Ian Gary's like, well, then beyond that, he said, my coach pulled me aside and he said Shavkat told him that he thinks I'm going to be the next champion. And I'm like, no, that sounds crazy to say that.
yeah, that sounds a little fraud, but we'll let him make it. We'll let him make it on
My
that
coach
comment.
told me that he thinks I'm better than him. I was like, I don't know that he said that, but
We'll let him make it.
we'll let him have that one. Yeah. Gary
We'll
got
let him make
taken
it.
down by MVP. Shavkat's got better takedown offense. I mean, maybe.
We'll see.
We don't know
Yeah,
that yet. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying. I've been saying this forever. Watching Ian Gary, he's
yeah.
he's a good black belt himself. I've been trying to get on a submission prop for Gary. Now's not the time to do it, but I think he's a little bit better in the grappling department than people get. But I don't know if he can hold him down, he might get his ass fucking beat. But if he can get back up, he'll win this fight. Mr. Toad says Gary took himself down because he was getting schooled on the feet, which won't happen in the Shavkat fight.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't think Shavkat is going to be able to implement a huge grappling game plan, but we'll see the
He
fights
was
in
getting tired.
a
Who
couple
has
hours.
better
So
cardio? I think I lean towards the fucking the Ian Gary side for cardio. I don't know. Shavkat's a bigger guy. I don't know if he can do it in round 4 or 5. But yeah, there's a lot of questions here, guys. A lot of questions. A lot of good questions from our sharp chat too. But yeah, in the end, I'm gonna lean towards Ian Gary for the plus
are
money.
you good? Hey, I said it earlier. Really, that plus 5.5. If you don't feel like a finish is going to occur, and they're going to do a lot of cage pushing, cage hugging, a lot of back and forth, that 5.5 probably is a good bet. But I'm gonna just
Yeah,
take my chance with the money. I got the highest number. I think was 310. I didn't see anything
yeah,
above that, so I'm gonna ride that out. So yeah.
yeah. I think that honestly, they both can survive. I don't know if anyone's getting finished early here. Like it's 18-0 versus 15-0. So I'm kind of looking at the numbers now. The totals over 3.5 rounds. It's minus 105. That doesn't seem like a bad look to just go a little bit into the championship rounds and then maybe settle out there. Whether it finishes or goes to decision, maybe it does get to round 4.
Well, we got a couple more hours to see. I'm trying to pull these prelims up, see if they're on. But
Yeah,
a
I
couple
think on
more.
that bets, I'm not going to. I do like it, but not as much as some of the other things I've talked about on the show. So we're going to see how we do on all our other bets and weights, and if we do well, we're going to push some money on the main event, main card, and if we don't, then maybe we don't take some of these long shot crazy bets. But if we do, then we do. If we don't, we don't. That's really how I'm
Yeah.
going to look at this one live because I'll place my best bets live, and then maybe push on some other things live. But let's get to the main event because this one's popping off. First fight is actually starting. Pantoja and Kai Asakura. Why don't you lead us off since you got here late?
I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm not gonna go too deep into this, man. I'm on Kai, man. That motherfucker looks vicious, looks fast, scrambling looks on point, striking looks on point. I like the aggressiveness he can possibly bring to the cage against I don't want to say against a washed or a declining Pantoja, but I think he's gonna go against a Pantoja where he's kind of content. You didn't already got your belt. You didn't already got some defense, some defenses. So, and if you guys didn't see the weigh-ins, he was looking pretty fucking skinny, real fucking thin. But I mean, he kind of always looks like that. But I don't know. For some reason, when I looked at him, I just didn't get a what do you want to say
A good sense of confidence.
yeah. I didn't have major
Doesn't give you
confidence in it.
that good gut feeling that you want to see.
At all. I mean, and this is coming from a guy who bet Urseg last fight, and I mean, we kind of seen how that went. So
I think it was a good spot.
Yeah.
I'd take that again.
Yeah.
Plus 160 was close, whatever. And we were talking early in the week, and I like your point on this fight that we should take a shot. Japanese fighters, there's never been a champion, okay? And contenders coming up to get a belt shot really fast, they tend to not do well. All the odds are stacked against them there. But it's going to happen sometime. And I'm going to take a fucking shot at plus 200 for everything that's stacked against him. That seems fucking low.
It's a number, yeah.
The other point that you said, too, is Pantoja going to be this reigning fucking champion? I don't think so. I think he's great. Don't get me wrong. But I think there's a back and forth fights in a lot of his fights. And I'm not going to call it luck either. But they get close. They get greasy. That's the way he fucking fights. And at plus 200, I'm going to take a chance on the reflexes of the younger guy.
You broke it down pretty damn well to me. I literally agree with everything you just said. So, hey, let's get it. I'm trying to find these fights now.
I was gonna say this last time, but G's here every week. He's always putting out his opinions. He's basically the third fucking panel member, always here in the chat. And when the three of us agree, it tends to do pretty fucking well.
Yep.
So we all like Asakura here. He's the bigger guy. He has lethal knee strikes. Takedown defense is decent, which is all you need is decent takedown defense against him.
Yep.
And I watched a video about him. Again, you can only take him at their words, but I do feel like he's an honest, humble guy. He said, when I started fighting, I'd fought my buddy who was a boxer, and he was swinging at me, and I dodged all of his strikes just in a street fight for fun. And that's when I realized my reflexes are crazy, and you see it in his fights. He waits for that counter punch. He's backing up. He kind of has the perfect style to be able to fight against Pantoja.
Bro. Yeah.
So,
and honestly, where the fuck did this dude come from? Why is he even getting this shot? Where the fuck did he come from?
Rising. He was the champion over there, knocking people out. Big
and honestly,
all that.
Motherfucking. We'll see. I don't want to say that.
Like I said, the Japanese have never had a champion. We are up against odds there, but I think it's going to happen. Japan's getting better and better. We're in 2024. That was a long time ago.
Yep.
Maybe it does. I'm not saying that's the reason it happens, but I mean, probability says they should get one at some point. I don't know when, but they'll get one.
Some point, yeah. So I like him though, and as my guy G said, dude, he's huge.
Either I'll take a shot on the other side.
And dude, the kid's huge, man. He's young. He's bigger. He's faster. Arguably stronger. As G said, dude, his strikes they're nasty, bro. Those knees to the body are gonna be nasty. They're gonna pay dividends later rounds in the fight. So I'm gonna take it, bro. I'm gonna take that plus 200. I haven't taken it now. I'm gonna wait. I want to see how my prelim action goes, and if it goes.
I was gonna say the same thing as we did before too. I'm gonna wait and see how it goes, and then. I feel comfortable with it. I think we'll get one dog at the end of the day, and depending on where we're at, I might press more or less.
Aljo's getting
we might have to end up gambling if we don't do well. I hope not to be in that spot, but we might fucking have to.
Hey, man. Aljo's getting the dub.
Yeah, I was going to say we broke down all the fights already. That's the last one, but if there's anything else you want to talk about, any bets you like a lot before we get out of here? I'm on Aljo too.
Honestly, no. What I said, I'm gonna keep it there. Nah, I'm done.
Yeah, that's fair. I did have some round 2, round 3 action. It's pretty much what I did all the way through the card up to what we talked about. Battle round 2 and round 3. Josh Van round 2, round 3. Landwehr round 2, round 3. And I'm going Dominic Reyes round 2, round 3.
I like Battle, man, but for some reason I don't know if I can get to a bet here, man. I was watching his last fight with Arlovsky. Motherfucker was getting. I mean, but Randy Brown's not that type of guy. But motherfucker was getting wrestle fucked, man. Taken down after takedown after. I'm like, bro, I don't know. So we'll see. I wanted to bet Brian Battle, but I've been betting him since he got to UFC. But I think we might fade him. Not fade him here, but pass. We're gonna pass. I do like Brian here, but if I do cut off, my phone died. It's on pretty low percentage, so if I cut off,
You're good. I think we're about to wrap this up anyways. We've done 45 minutes. Fights have started. Merv Miller in the chat. He likes Gary by submission. Shout out to
I
Merv
like that.
Miller
Hey,
for being
Gary
here with
by
us.
sub though, Merv Miller. Isn't Gary by sub like 20-1 or something, bro?
It's worth a shot. I've been saying, we've been doing the shows for a long time. I've been saying I'm waiting for a spot to take Ian Gary by sub. I've been saying that.
And I could see a Darce, easy Darce. Shavkat rushes in, but goes in
Plus
on a sloppy
28
takedown.
to 1.
I knew I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to say that because but
that's
20 to
worth
1, yeah.
That's worth $5 at plus 3,000. Let's see what that actually. I'll put it in. Let's see what that pays. 5. Yeah, you're gonna get $145, $140 payout.
Hey,
that's worth a $5.
Yeah.
Fucking, you spend more than that on your Starbucks coffee. Go ahead, try it out.
Hey, I'll piss $5. All right.
Right.
Go ahead and take
$5 when you go for a piss at work. Yeah, that's how long it takes. But seriously. I don't mind that shot. I like some of those. I was also talking Volkov plus 2,000. But that's really it. The card has started, so we're gonna let you all get the fuck out of here, and we're gonna go watch the fights ourselves too. Appreciate every single one of you for being here. Merv, G, Mr. Toad, Ix popped in real quick. He was live with us for a moment there. Nasty Nate was in the house. Jimmy
Nasty
Gomez,
Nate,
Redbeard,
Jimmy G, Redbeard,
Gerardo, as we said, and Nicholas Handy was in the house. First comment was Nicholas Handy here. Shout out to all y'all for being here with us and all the other 32 viewers that didn't put anything in the chat. Appreciate every single one of you. We will be here next week for one more UFC fight night. This is the last pay-per-view, but there's one more fight night, and that's it. And then we have a 3-week break, but we will see you next week. Until then, enjoy the card. Make that money. Peace out. For my guy, Dab Father, I'm Dylan. We'll see you next time.
You can't fuck with me, dog.